Telling your story is an inclusive view of the people around us who share the same dreams and goals but face different challenges moving forward. We hope you come away from each episode inspired. Keep watching for this episode of Telling Your Story with Terrel and Nick. Coming up next. Hello and welcome to Telling Your Story with Terrel and Nick. We're so glad you tuned in to watch. I'm Nick.
I'm Terrel.
And we are your co-hosts. Today, we have a very creative guest, Madeleine Berry from ArtStream Inc., a local nonprofit very dear and near to our hearts, is here to talk about the inclusive theater companies at ArtStream. Welcome, Madeleine.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here with you guys.
She is a teacher she produced the play for us, but we act on the stage and make it happen. And we do a good job, right?
Absolutely, you guys do a great job.
You do. And so, Madeleine, you are a director. You are actually Terrel's director for ArtStream Inc., a nonprofit that I am a co-founder of. So we are very excited for you to share about the inclusive theater process. But also, we'd love to know, Madeleine, where did your story begin?
Oh, that's a great question. My story began actually in college. I was never in theater in high school. I didn't really do a whole lot. I mostly sort of kept to myself back then and things like that. But once I got to college, a friend wanted me to become an assistant stage manager to help out a little bit. So I helped on one of the shows, and I fell in love with the family aspect and everyone really supporting one another and people sharing their stories together. So I knew that something that I loved to do was read books, and so a friend of mine said, you know, is it because you really see that story in your head when you read? And I said, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. I see the story in my head. And she said, you probably really love directing. And so I directed a show shortly after that, and getting to see that image that was in my brain up on a stage was incredible. So that's where my story started.
That's
Wow.
wonderful.
That sounds good.
That's really exciting.
So did you know why do you like to work in ArtStream? Did something come to in your mind and then you do it, or
Sure.
what happened?
So over the journey of trying to become a director throughout college, I had a professor, her name was Just Lustig, and she worked with ArtStream. She had worked with ArtStream. She was a costumer.
Yes,
yes,
I remember her. Yes.
She made the big dragon costume for you guys.
Yes.
Right.
And she and I actually co-directed something at my final year for my senior project. And it was a devised piece, and it was social justice based.
Right.
And she said, you know, I think I have a place that you'd be really interested in and that you'd be a really great fit for. You should go check out ArtStream. And so I went and I just loved everything you guys were about. I loved getting to create the story. Yeah, it was a perfect fit. So I loved it.
All right, that sounds good.
So Madeleine, can you talk about, for our audience who may not know, so ArtStream does lots of different things, and Inclusive Theater, or ITC, is one of our programs. Can you talk a little bit about what makes that program so different and what drew you as a director and a playwright to want to do that particular program at ArtStream? Because it truly is a unique experience for everybody.
So I love all of the programs, the Super Social Saturdays, those opportunities to hang out with each other. But the Inclusive Theater Company felt so special to me because everyone was there to make a work of art together. Everyone came together to make something that was both 100% ourselves and something bigger than ourselves. And everyone comes in with such positivity and love and this creative energy that's just so raw. It makes it a joy to go every single week and then have this thing at the end that's just like the baby of what you've made, and it's just fantastic, you know?
That's good, the baby.
Yeah, it's the artistic baby. But yeah, it's fantastic. That's what I love about it.
And Terrel, what is it like for you? So that's a great perspective, and thank you for that beautiful answer. So now, from an actor perspective, what is the ITC like for you?
Well, yeah, is up on the stage. I don't look at. Well, I look at the audience, but I don't pay attention to the audience. I just do my line and all that. I pay attention to the people on the stage, and then I will pay attention after the scene is done, and all that. I will look at the audience, but on the stage I focus on the people on the stage. And then you had to do that. If you don't do that, then you mess up.
Well, that's actually brings up a really wonderful point about acting, is that acting is mostly reacting to other people. It's making sure that you're constantly in tune with other human beings, which is a great just practice in general. But you're particularly good at that because you have to do that for the initial stages of creating our show, which is our improvisations.
Right.
So you're constantly engaged with other people and creating stories out of your own brain.
Yeah.
And that translates to the stage.
And you have to learn songs and choreography. So you're singing and you're dancing and on and off the stage, sometimes costume changes. I mean, there's so many things happening at the same time. So I agree with you, like the incredible focus that's really present. And being sort of a mindful actor that way, so that you're always aware of what's happening on the stage. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah, that's true. I've been in the classes and all that. It was fun and all that. I might do it again. I don't know in the future.
They're a different kind of energy. It's always nice to have like other groups of people that you can hang out with. I think that the tightest knit family is always in the
inclusive companies. Yeah.
But it's nice to have those people you can just hang out with too and just have a good time.
Right.
Well, we're going to be right back with Madeleine Berry to hear all about how a 6-month process can go from a group of people getting together with no script, no ideas, and then at the end of 6 months, playing to a sold-out house. So don't go away. You're going to want to know how we do that at ArtStream.
Yeah, we will be right back after these messages.
It's kind of like our intermission.
Intermission time. Yeah, intermission time. How about that?
coming here and having a group like this where she just fits in perfectly, where we're accepted, we belong, we're the community.
It's just a chance for us to really coach these kids and challenge them, but at the same time motivate them, support them, and encourage them to be better soccer players.
My neighbor is actually one of the athletes who participates in this, and I was babysitting him and I was playing soccer with him, and his dad told me about this program and I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Watching this inspirational group of athletes smile and have fun and get to shine as individuals has just been wonderful. As a parent of one of the buddies, it's been a real pleasure to come out here and see this develop.
It's really changed her life. I mean, she's very happy, and she feels like she's a part of the team and very special.
And every single time I come, the athletes put a smile on my face.
Just being a coach, it's a blessing. You know what I mean? To help these kids and to be a part of their life.
The way you see the players interact with each other, interact with us, this is making a big difference in their life, and it's making a big difference in my life too.
Hello and welcome back. We are talking to Madeleine Berry, a local director, playwright, actor, and teaching artist with ArtStream Inc., a local nonprofit right here in Montgomery County. So Madeleine, can you share with Terrel and I want to hear your perspective too, Terrel.
All right.
Inclusive theater company means that you've got this group of people, adults with intellectual differences of varying ages, 18 and up. You get together at the beginning of a 6-month period. So our ArtStream has several inclusive companies across the DMV. And how do you do it? How does everybody get together when there's no idea, no script, lots of amazing, genius, beautiful minds, and then at the end of that is this incredible show? If you can share with us, we'd love to just shed a little mystery or clear up a little mystery on how that happens, because it's magical.
You can start.
I'll start by saying it can feel like a lot going in and you don't know what your show's gonna be.
Right.
But you're in this space with other people who are there to create with you, and you all start improvising together. You start creating little stories together, little ones that just pop up into your brain, things you're interested in.
And no script is there.
No script,
script.
whatsoever.
Wow.
You just come up with a character on the fly, you come up with a scenario on the fly, and you just go with it. And then from there, we pick the things that have the most energy behind them. We pick the things that everyone is really excited about, and start to formulate that into a script. Eventually, once the script is written, we get into the rehearsal process where everyone does have lines that they have to say. They have to do background on their character. They have to figure out who their character really is, give them a lot of life. Then they have to memorize it and learn blocking, which is the movements you do on the stage. After blocking, we have to just run the show over and over and over again, not to mention learn the songs and choreography. And eventually, after all of that work, we get it to go on the stage for tech, which is making sure all the lights look right and all of the sound works, and then we get to bring the show to everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right. That's right.
And you've done this a very long time. Terrel, can you just share with our audience, who right now is probably still processing what an extraordinary journey that must be creatively? And I know when I sat in on rehearsals, there's so much trust in the space. There's so much collaboration. There's so much just respect for everyone's ideas. And so what is it like for you?
Oh, okay, yeah. So what Madeleine said, she said everything right. But the acting part of it is we had to go home and it's like homework. You do instead of homework, acting homework. So it's a little bit different than homework, but you had to read all the lines and practice every day. then when we go to the rehearsal, we had to practice it every day. And then when we like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we had to practice it. So in all, when we put it up on the stage, we do it by memory instead of by looking. Looking and memory is totally different than so we go up on the stage without no script and all that. We can do it out of our mind. Right now we are not there yet, but it will be happening.
That's right. You've got shows coming up very soon.
Yeah.
And I know the website for ArtStream, just so people can learn more about those shows, www.art-stream.org. And that brings me to a question that I've been thinking a lot about when I think about the shows, the magic of opening night.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit, what does it feel like, Madeleine, after spending 6 months with this amazing ensemble of actors? And you certainly, again, just sort of to backtrack, you have a team of artists with you. So it's not, you've got you at the helm, you're the sort of the stewardship, moving it forward, but you have how many assistant directors do you have? 2. You've got a stage manager, you've got someone who is writing music for you and for this group. And then of course we have volunteer mentors. So together, on opening night, the magic, the excitement in the room, it's like a big giant room full of joy. What does that feel like for you?
It is an electric energy that carries so much emotion behind it, because you see the culmination of these months and months of work where everyone's just put so much of their heart and soul into it, and you can feel the whole room just light up with it. And the moment that that first light hits that first actor and the first line is said, you're just like, wow, gosh, this is amazing. And it just, it feels overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
So how do you feel on opening night? What is it like for you?
It is exciting for me to say all my lines and remember it and all that. But when I do it up on the stage with the audience, is totally different. When I look at on when they clap, my excitement go higher than it normally is.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. I'm usually one of those people in the audience clapping. And it's just on so many levels, this particular type of program that ArtStream offers really does give so much on so many levels to everyone who comes in. Madeleine, can you talk a little bit about the mentor program? Because that is a vibrant part of the process too, is having these mentors come in.
Yeah, our mentors are angels. They come in and they agree to work with us on so many different kinds of levels. They come in and they are actors with us alongside everybody else, and they help make sure the show runs really well, just like everybody else does. But they have such an integral process of going between the people who have a lot of the production elements going on in their brain. Is this thing working? Is this bit of blocking working? And the mentors are people who can communicate with the actors, and then whatever the actors need to the director if I'm too busy looking at something else. But they're wonderful. I love those mentors.
Yeah, and also on stage, if this is what happened always up on the stage, you say something and most people forget what the line said
Yeah.
is about. And back in the back, you don't see it, but backstage they whisper, they talk to you about it, and then they say you can do it. You did it before. Go for it. And so we do it up on the stage. And on the backstage, they normally read the line to us.
That's awesome. So they're very supportive. They're
Yes.
part of the team
Yes.
with you guys. And certainly a lot of folks that come to ArtStream might be getting student service learning hours here in the state of Maryland, SSL. But some folks come because they love to be on stage with us.
Yes.
Some people come because they love the creative process. So what's exciting to me is just seeing a group of people come together at the beginning of this 6-month time period, and then at the end, and like you were saying, it does create this really tight-knit, trusted ensemble.
Yes.
Right?
That's right. Nicolette.
So, Madeleine, can you talk a little bit about, for our folks who are watching, what it's like to be a teaching artist in general, since that is your field. You work at ArtStream and are a very valued and well-respected, well-regarded artist here, but I know you work in the field. What is the life of an artist like?
The life of an artist, it's, we've talked about it before, where it's this patchwork quilt
Yes.
of creating a job out of many.
Yeah.
So it's not just one job that you go for. You have a lot of different places that you go. You teach at maybe multiple places a day. You make art many times a day, and your brain goes in a lot of different places. But it's always built around what you want it to be. So I get to build my life around art and sharing art and directing and teaching, and it's amazing because it's always 100% myself, and I always get to love what I do, which makes me really happy. I wouldn't change it.
Wow, that's wonderful.
that's
What a
good.
gift to love what you do and to know that you are making a difference every time you walk into the room or the space that you're the teacher or the director. That those moments really matter and can really create change for people.
That's the other thing I loved about directing, was that like I get to help make sure that like other people get space on stage, and I really love that aspect of it too.
All right, and also, do you by saying all that, do you ever think about what the other people have?
Do you mean like other jobs that other people have, or like what other people get to do in the jobs that I do?
Well, you teach. Do you think other people will understand it?
Oh yeah, I don't know if like, I think there's a little bit of mystery around like that particular job, and sometimes people don't see the work that goes into each one of those jobs.
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Like for
Okay.
every hour or whatever, there's many that support the 1 hour in the
preparation
space.
beforehand,
Right.
yeah.
So I don't know if people generally understand it, but like, and I don't think I did either, but I love it so much, and those hours of work beforehand make sense to
right.
help make those moments flow.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I think they will understand it.
Yeah.
Madeleine, what is, if you could speak to one part of the experience of being an ITC director with ArtStream, what is the most magical piece for you? If you can narrow it down to one thing, what would you say it was?
I think it's those moments where in rehearsal or wherever really, all of the actors and all of the production team members are standing together, and we get to check in with each other, and we get to really see each other in the space, and we get to say, we're making this thing, like, and it's amazing and it's beautiful, and like, here's all of the things we have to bring to the table. Let's make something with it. I think those are the most magical moments for me, is getting to really collaborate with other people.
That's nice.
That's wonderful. How about you? What's the most magical thing for you, being an actor in Madeleine's company?
When I first met her, I didn't think she will be like she is now, but when I get to know her and all that, she is. When I get to know her, like I do now, I understand she does a lot better than I thought she was going to do. Before I thought she'd do an okay job and all that, and then but she did an excellent job.
I think you guys took a big chance.
Yes.
On a young director. I think that's true, but like
yeah, we did.
that was like a huge leap of trust.
It was.
I think that trust is another magical part of like we all get to trust each other, and I'm so glad you guys decided to trust me with being able to help make those stories happen with you.
And before we go, one of the things too, I think that's so powerful about you coming in, like you said, working through that trust, is the group has grown so much under your direction. Each of them have you always say in rehearsal, being your best self, but you've really led them to be the best that they can be, and that growth is huge because it transfers well beyond the art stream stage, well beyond any stage.
Yes, that's
It's really preparing us all just for being human. So thank you. Thank you for all that you've done for ArtStream and will continue to do.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you guys.
And unfortunately, that's all the time we have on Telling Your Story with Terrel and Nick. Thank you for joining us, and a very special thank you to the director Madeleine Berry from ArtStream Inc. You can catch the ArtStream shows by visiting our website at www.art-stream.org for upcoming information on the shows, for classes, for social clubs, for Super Social Saturday, and of course, for information about the Inclusive Theater Company. We hope to see you at one of our shows.
Yes, that's true. That's all.
Yes, that's all. And Madeleine, thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
And sharing
you're
your
welcome.
story. And thank you for joining us as well. And remember, wherever you are in your life,
Keep moving forward.
cheers.
Cheers.
And
See.
Scene.